Hey James, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. How's everything going?
Everything is going pretty well. I can't complain about a thing.
Okay, well, first of all, congratulations, Platinum. So you up there getting it done. Of course, that comes with a nice pay raise, and of course, you start building out your team, and that's just the next stop for Infinity. So I'm super happy that you are there. Welcome to the club, and let's go ahead and jump into what we're going to talk about this evening. So first of all, first question for you Juanis. Tell everybody on the call, tell them your story, introduce yourself, and kind of when was the first time you actually heard about my econ.
Yes, James. Like James said, I'm Yuwanis Williams. I'm born and raised here in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I actually first heard of my econ in December of 2015. I'm in a Facebook group, and I actually saw a young lady mention it on there. I looked at a couple of YouTube videos, but I really didn't give it much thought. At the time, I was already involved in another venture, so I just kind of was like, oh, okay, well, that sounds cool, but I didn't really take action on it. And then probably within just a couple of days, and I mean, I guess you can call it a sign or what have you, a childhood friend of mine reached out to me and asked me if I would just look at a video. And I'm not the type of person that I really, say no to a lot of stuff, or, you know, I I'm not judgmental in that way. So I said, okay, sure, I'll look at it, whatever. And I looked at it, and it so happened to be my econ. So it came across me again. So I said, well, dang, I just looked at this a couple of days ago, and I really didn't think much of it. And luckily or whatever, it was during a promotion period through a holiday promotion, so it wasn't a super big investment as far as money went. So I pretty much spent that entire day, afternoon, looking at more videos, and I just kept looking, kept looking, kept looking. I said, okay, well, I've looked enough. Let me just go ahead and try it. At the time it was like $13 to get started. I said, well, if nothing else, I'll just bring some extra money into my paycheck. Let me see how that part works. And so I just went ahead and gave it a shot.
Hmm. So what made you? So what kind of made you take the leap? Like, what was the deciding factor that you said, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get started. What? Because everybody has that moment. For me, it was like I had heard a presentation, and it was like 6 months later I came back. But you say you kind of got started really quickly. So what was that one thing that gave you that decision to say, okay, I'm in?
I think it was the fact that I would be able to, bring more home through my paycheck. At that particular time, the position that I had in my job, I was an hourly employee, number one, but number two, I worked in the school system. So with that came, summer breaks, Christmas breaks, and holidays that I may not, have been paid for. So at the time, income was one of my biggest, obstacles, because I had experienced the year prior to that where Christmas break came, and we actually ended up having an extra week out of school due to inclement weather. Well, that extra week meant an extra week of no pay for me and my family. So I didn't want to continue to be in a position to where money was always an issue. I didn't know, okay, well, hey, I'm going to be late on this, or I'm going to be late on that. So I said, well, if I can get something extra to at least, bridge that gap a little bit, then why not? So that was my immediate reason. It was Christmas time, so I was on break, and I didn't know, if I was going to go back to work on time that year. Because being in the Midwest, you just don't know what's going to happen. So I said, well, I've got to do something other than trying to work two, three jobs, because I didn't have the time to do that either. So that was what it was for me, James.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. I love it. So, I'm not going to spend much time asking questions. I got a few more things that I'm going to cover, but guys, she actually decided to, and really on the strength of just providing to the team. This is going to be majorly a Q&A portion once we get through the topic. So make sure you start jotting down your questions, because you're going to be able to pick her brain. She's going to hang out with us this call here, and of course, all your questions are going to be answered. So I got one more for you. Okay, so you said that. you were doing different things. You had a lot of stuff going on, and I always seem to, when I see people break out, is when they made that decision to go all in. So, what was it for you that you was like, okay, my econ, I'm all in. Let me go build and let me start making this money in this business.
Absolutely. It was a couple of things actually. The first thing that made me say, okay, I need to probably truly start focusing more on my econ was when I hit gold. When I hit gold, that was, for me, that was the highest position I had hit in any other company that I had, been a part of. And I still, even though I hit gold, there was still part of me that was, lingering with other ventures. But what ended up happening, to be quite honest, one company, I was with two other companies, guys. I was with I was with my econ, and then I was with two additional ones. One prior to my econ, and then I picked up something else after I joined my econ. So that's just, there's my open mind again, seeing things or what have you. But one company some things started going in a different direction than what I initially thought the company was going to be about. So I just kind of gradually stepped away from that one. And then the other, what really happened was that my own leadership, my own upline had quit the business. And at that point, I didn't necessarily feel like I had the support maybe that I needed to continue to build that situation. Granted, there were other leaders, that I connected with and, that I could count on or, still attend functions with and all of that. But my own personal upline had left and didn't really, say anything to me prior to them leaving. It just kind of was like here today, gone tomorrow. And that kind of threw a red flag up for me. I'm like, okay, well, if the person that introduced this to me and saw this to be a great thing to help me has decided to leave for whatever reason and not even kind of tell me that that was their thought process, then maybe this isn't necessarily where I need to devote all of my time. My econ was definitely more lucrative for me, financially. It really truly became that, and it was hard to juggle two things, three things that at one point it was hard to juggle, but there was something in each of them that I felt like, okay, this can speak to this person, this can speak to that person. So I wasn't initially saying, okay, I just need to focus on one thing. I felt like I was superwoman, or whatever. I can do all of these. And it really is hard. I'm not discouraging anybody from, trying to do two or what have you. But when you can give more focus to one and you can see that the overall benefit of my econ can actually cover the others, then I think you can definitely be more successful with my econ and our overall goal.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. Now, so let's so let's talk about the business side of things. Let's jump into some of the business building stuff. So let's say, for instance, I'm a new associate, right? I just joined your team, just decided to get going with my econ. We know that you get all the great tax benefits and all the financial training that comes along with it. But speaking in regards to straight business building, how does a new associate position themselves to go out and go platinum and do what you did?
Um, I think the key is truly deciding early on whether or not you're going to be an active player or a sideline spectator. And
Mm,
what I mean by that is, it's one thing to look up at your report and say, okay, I'm active because I paid my 34.95. That's great. That's awesome. We need you to do that. But you have to become engaged from day one. You really do. Um, there's too much. There's too much knowledge to soak up from the leadership within the Millionaire Society alone, not to mention my econ as a whole, to try to do this thing alone. And you got to be coachable. With anything that you do, you have to be willing to learn in order to be successful. You wouldn't go into a job, I'm hoping you wouldn't go into a job thinking you know everything about that job, everything about that company, and how that particular environment works. So you have to be open to learning from other people. And if there's a system, then follow the system. There's no sense in racking your brain trying to figure out a better way. Just use the way that has been proven to work. And it'll work for you just like it has worked for the infinities that have come before you. So, take action immediately. Don't wait. Now, if you just truly want to take advantage, of the advantages of having a home-based business, and you're not really trying to grow a team and introduce, what we do to other people, then, that's something totally different. But if your ultimate goal is to hit ranks and progress and get to the point of time freedom and financial freedom by utilizing all five strategies and all five streams, then you have to be an active player. You have to be engaged with us, because we're not going to lead you to anywhere where we ourselves would not want to be.
Right, and I like that. Active player or sideline spectator. That's like bars right there. I like that.
Thank you, guys.
That's awesome. That's awesome. The so you went go, and then it was like literally less about 6 months later. I will say 6, 7 months later, bam, you right there at Platinum. So we're super proud of you for doing that, and really, it's great because I believe in with this business, everybody can achieve whatever it is they want to do if they go out and get it done. But of course, there's always some challenges. There's always some ups and downs, and there is the grind. There's the grind and the grit that has to happen when you're actually going out there making a rank like Platinum. So, what was the most challenging experience you had on your road to Platinum? Kind of share that with us. What was the hardest thing that you had to go through?
I think the hardest thing for me was actually deciding to solely focus on my econ. I felt a sense of loyalty to a degree to some, to my other ventures and the people that, had brought me in, even though somebody had left. There were still other active people that I felt a sense of loyalty to, but I had to decide what was best for me. And it wasn't a shot at, it wasn't a shot at the company or, the people involved. But I just had to look myself in the mirror and say, okay, you can't think that you're going to maximize any of these if you don't maximize your time with one of these. And that was a challenge for me because I do pride myself on having that loyalty. I'm not a person that has had a bunch of jobs in my life. I started working when I was 16, 17, and I can count on one hand how many jobs I've had. Because I get somewhere and I stay. It's really no reason for me to leave other than a better opportunity might come along, or, I just need other things in my life at the time. Or, I had a job prior to what I'm doing now. We closed, the facility closed. Had it not closed, I probably would have been there another 8 years on top of the 8 years I was there. So that was challenging for me. And then just figuring out how to maintain a level of sanity with my day-to-day 9 to 5, 8 to 4, whatever it is, job of working with children in an urban school setting that have a whole lot of issues going on, as well as still mothering, my own 3 children and balancing their programs and activities. And I knew that, sometimes I was going to have to miss, I might have to miss a dance competition, or I may have to miss a choir performance in order to be in a place where I can grow and learn from leaders within my econ. And that was a struggle for me because growing up, I was involved in a lot of stuff. I played sports pretty much all the way through high school, from like 4th grade all the way through. And I remember my mother never missed anything, and so that was a struggle for me to be like, okay, well, you might just have to miss some, and I would probably, hear things from my mom, or whatever, you missing this, or, why you got to do that? But it's okay. I know she doesn't fully get it. Why doesn't she fully get it? Because my mom grew up in an era where you work, you work,
Right.
and, nothing else. You work and you take care of your family. That's it, and that's all. I tell people all the time, my mother is not the person that I knew to have friends. You know, it was my dad, her husband, and us. That was it. But I'm totally, you know, I'm different from that. You know, I have other things going on, and you know, that's just, you know, it's not a shot at my mom. It's just what she knew and what she knows. But I know different now. I know that I don't want to be 70 still working. So some things are gonna have to be sacrificed along the way, and I'm okay with that. You have to be okay with that, and I think that's where a lot of people, you know, they kind of get tripped up because they're not fully okay with that. They're still in their head worried about what the next person is going to say. People are going to talk about you, and that's so you got to be okay with it because you got to know what's for you and how you're going to get there.
Love it, love it. That's some powerful messaging right there. I don't have anything to add to that. So on that note, how about we jump into some questions? You ready to take some questions from our teammates here that's on the call?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, hey guys, Yuwanis is here. She went out, made platinum. She's crushing in her business. She was one of the top personal recruiters in the Millionaire Society, in and out any promotion. I mean, just overall. So you guys have the time right now to pick her brain, to ask her questions, to ask her anything that you could possibly need as far as building your business, recruiting, and going out there and actually crushing it. So all you got to do is press *6 on your phone. The only caveat I have is you're going to have to come on and congratulate her first, and then you can answer your question. So, guys, anytime *6, unmute your call. If you're on the app, just press a little microphone to unmute, and this is your time.
Hi, Yuwanis. Congratulations. This is Lana.
Hey,
Can you
Lana.
hear me? Hi.
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My struggle is, like, I know you, and we're in the same city, and there's a lot of people in our city that are involved in the My Econ that we all know a lot of the same people. That's kind of where my struggle is. Any suggestions?
Here's
How
my
to reach out
suggestion
to
for that.
different?
Even people that we know. See, one thing that I've realized is that even though you may know some of the same people as me, or I may know the same people as you, they may not get it coming from me. You know what I mean? They may have seen it or heard it or what have you, but there may be more of a personal connection to somebody, and that may in itself cause them to take action with you, which I don't get caught up in the, oh, dang, she signed him up or she signed her up. I was gonna talk to them, or I talked to them 6 months ago and they told me no or didn't get back with me. I don't get caught up in that. You know, now what I will say is that I do appreciate when I have introduced it to somebody and they come back and they say, hey, you know, I know you showed this to me, but, you know, Lana is my cousin or whatever, and I'm just using that as an example. And, you know, I'm going to go ahead and sign with her. Great. Because at the end of the day, it's about everybody's own personal economy, and I want everybody to win whatever win looks like to them. So, you know, don't let that deter you from reaching out to people that we may know. You know, reach out to them anyway. It happens, and I'm okay with that. Some people may not be, but I'm okay with that. So definitely say, hey, you know, like for instance, we have our big event coming up next Saturday. So for everybody in the Indianapolis area, we do have Ms. Candace Woodruff coming in from Arkansas next Saturday for a presentation from 10 to 11, and all of this information is in your back office, as well as I did post it on the Millionaire Society page. So presentation and training, get your people out. Personally call them and invite them out, you know, and let's pack the house out. And don't worry about it. People might tell me no, they may tell you no, and then they may come back 6 months from now and tell you they're ready. So don't let up. Don't let up on them, Lana.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Right, you can press *6 back on your phone or mute out. Who else is up next for a question for Miss Yuwanis Williams? You can come on the line It is your time right now. This is Q&A. She decided to hang out with us, take time out of her busy schedule, of course, to answer questions here with the team. So start switching on her phone, press unmute anytime. Let's rock and roll. Let's get it done.
Hi, Yuwanis. It's Tawana from Chicago.
Hey, Tawana.
Congratulations. I am so happy for you. You have, done an amazing thing and been an amazing inspiration. My question, you're welcome. My question is the whole time management piece. I am a single mom, with 2 young kids who do a lot of different things. Full-time job that's kind of demanding sometimes, but I really want to have that focus in my business. And it's like sometimes I feel like I got it and sometimes I don't. And so the time management, how do you stay consistent with your time management?
Well, just to let you know, sometimes I feel like I've got it and sometimes I feel like I don't. So you're not alone. You're definitely not alone there. Sometimes I'm super exhausted when I get home, from work. And, I'm a person, I can't even lie to you guys. I am a person that believes in naps. So I have to take me a good 30 to 45-minute power nap, if you will, just so I can be rejuvenated for that second half of my day, which is, taking care of the kids or whatever. But I do, as everybody knows, I do a lot of stuff, through social media. So I throughout my work day, luckily my supervisor is not on the call, but through my work day, I do try to make sure I'm posting or following up with people through Messenger or what have you, when I have those downtime. So I do try to do that to help maximize my time throughout the day. And I'm definitely taking a page out of James' book from last week as far as creating business hours. I have yet to really sit down and figure out what is going to really work for me because my schedule, it fluctuates. Sometimes my daughter's practices, I may think that it's set for just Wednesday and Thursday, and then here comes a Monday practice. Well, it's okay. Now I've got Monday business hours. How's that going to work? So I still have to work that piece out. But I say as long as you're doing something every day, no matter if it's 30 minutes or 2 hours, then you're being productive. You're being productive. If that's, if all you have time to do is listen to an audio to get some inspiration, then so be it. But I feel like if you do something every day within your business, then, ultimately the successes will come. So don't beat yourself up if you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm neglecting this, because you're not. I see you, and I know that you're not. You're staying engaged, and that's a critical piece.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Great questions. You can go ahead and mute back out there. We got the next person that's ready up. You can go ahead and unmute on your line there, *6, or unmute on your line, and then you can ask Yuwanis a question. You can ping her about anything. We have some great questions thus far. So who's up next? This is you guys' time.
Hey, Yuwanis, this is Summer. How are you?
Hey, Summer. I'm good. How are you?
Great. Congratulations. I watch you and I'm inspired by you. So great job.
Thank you.
I noticed that you maximize social media a lot. I've gotten to the point where I don't get any traction from posts now. I'm just wondering how you do that.
It's really not a secret, way to do it. There are some things that I think are beneficial. One is that I definitely think that it helps if your page is public. And then, I don't know if yours is or not, but I noticed that you're the same people, if you don't have your page public, are going to be the same people seeing your posts daily. And if they haven't taken action, haven't inquired, then you need new sets of eyes to follow your information. And one way to do that is to have your page public. And if not your page, then at least your business related post. because I know some people, really just want to keep things private. So at least have make your post public. That will get you traction, from anywhere. That's why I do have people all over the U.S. because they're able to just, find me or, come across my post. And just stay consistent, never let up. Because when you kind of fade off, then people automatically start assuming that, oh, well, she's not doing that business thing anymore. I don't see her posting nothing else about it. And Facebook and social media, they have a block feature or unfollow. So if people get tired of it, then certainly they can decide that they don't want to see it anymore. But never let up. Stay consistent. Definitely pay attention to those prime times of posting. That and I know I've said it before, but write it down again for everybody. That's 7 to 9 a.m. window when people are getting ready for work. They're usually checking social media before they head into their job. Again, you want to hit them at that 11 to 1 in the afternoon during lunch hours. 4 to 6 p.m. That's that rush hour on my way home. They'll probably be checking, especially if they're stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic. They may, take a glance. And then again, the prime time hours of 7 to 9, when people are winding down from dinner and catching a little TV. They're also, either posting about what they're watching on TV or just, checking out their social media. So definitely pay attention to those times. I think those are really critical and good time points to push. And one more thing before I in that question. If you are on Messenger, which I know a lot of people are, but if you're on Messenger, I constantly am checking to see who's active during that time. And if it's someone that I've reached out to and they have actually inquired about either looking at the information or getting started, then I hit them right then when I see that they're active. Because I'm like, well, shoot, you're already on here, so let me go ahead and send you a quick message. And a lot of times I'll get somebody say, oh, yeah, I forgot to look at it. Well, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go sign up now while I got some time. So, take advantage of that as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Awesome, Crescent. Great. So we still got time for a couple more. So you guys got to hit them off rapid fire here because I can't hold Yuwanis all night. You got to go do things with the kids, get ready for the week. So, guys, this is your time. Go ahead and ask your questions. Let's get them going. All right, this is going to be the going once here, guys. Welcome. You got the call. You're on the mic.
Hello, Yuwanis. This is Darlene. Congratulations.
Hi, Darlene. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. When I grow up, I want to be just like you.
I appreciate that.
My question is, what does your day-to-day look like as far as building your business? And I have, I guess, a two-part question. And number two, overcoming the obstacles that you have overcome already, how would you suggest a person get to platinum and overcome the obstacles that you've overcome or avoid those obstacles?
Okay. The first part of that, as far as my day-to-day. My day-to-day, I get up like everybody else, get my kids ready for school or what have you. But I make it a point to post about my business prior to 9 o'clock. I make a point to do that. I usually, I'm stopping somewhere on the way to drop the kids off at daycare, usually a gas station, just to pick up maybe a drink or something like that, because I don't do coffee, so I'm not hitting Starbucks or anything like that. But, I'll try to give out a business card or make conversation, get contact that way. And then I just move along through the rest of my work day. And like I said, I try to make posts around noon or follow up with people that are active in social media at that time during my downtimes at work. And then usually in the evening, I really kind of focus from 7 to about 10 o'clock. 7 to about 10 o'clock every night. I'm doing something, whether it's follow-up calls, helping my team, do 3-way calls. I'm available during that time. That's usually a good time for me. Some days are a little more hectic than others if, my kids have activities, but I usually try to get that 7 to 10 and give as much as I can to the business. There I'm on our webinars. Whether I have guests or not, I'm on the webinars. I'm picking up something that I can use to further me along. So every day we have something, a call related, webinar related, then I'm usually on there, unless, I'm doing something kid related. The other part of that question, as far as challenges and how someone should get to platinum, really, it comes down to running the play. It comes down to creating lists over and over and over again. Don't make one list and just say, okay, this is the only list I'm going to have for my entire business, my entire business time frame. You always need to revisit that, whether you're following up with people or constantly adding people to it. So you're always having somebody to talk to. And then working your base shop and getting people promoted to EVP. Now, that's an area that I definitely, have room for improvement. I do have, quite a few new associates that I need to help get to that next level. But a part of that is also that person being actively involved and engaged with the business. So I say, definitely stay in people's ear, keep them up to date with things that are going on. But you can do that without feeling like you're babysitting someone. Give the information. If they choose to take action, great. If they don't, then they can't ever say that it was because you didn't try to help them. They have to also be an active participant. So I'm hoping that kind of help answer that question for you, Miss Darlene. And just, that base shop is really where it's at. And that, needs a lot of focus. But at the same time, you battle the replacement strategy as well, because as soon as you sign someone up, you got to look for the next one to replace that person. It's a vicious cycle. People are going to fall off. But so you always got to be, active in building your personal recruits as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, great question and great nuggets you're dropping right there. Yuwanis, appreciate you. So I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we will take one more to kind of round off the call here on that note. So last call, this will be the last question. Who wants to pick Yuwanis' brain? Who wants to take some time? Who wants to get something directly from a star recruiter? It is your time, so go ahead and unmute your call, *6, or you can press unmute on the app, and it is your time.
Hey, how you doing, Yuwan? This is Mike in Michigan. How's everything?
Hey, Mike. Everything is great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Congratulations for Platinum. That's awesome. I just have one question. Everybody answered a lot of the stuff. It's just really awesome to have this call and hear somebody doing it to know how things are done. Is there anything specific that you're reading right now that has really changed? You mentioned you're in 2 other businesses. I was in a business before I got involved in my econ. Was there any specific book that you've read or listened to that helped you in terms of recruiting?
To be flat out honest with you, no, Mike. I'm hard-headed. I know I need to read more, and so that is a goal of mine as well. Now, I do kind of plug in more to audios than I do necessarily books, and that's just kind of been a thing for me for a while. So I'm constantly replaying June Collier's Sunday Nights Calls through SoundCloud. I actually was listening to one while I was washing the dishes prior to this call. So I plug into those. Mr. Robert Webster kind of turned me on to Jim Rohn and the Key Group in SoundCloud, where his different speeches and whatnot are, actually put to music. So that has been very beneficial for me. So I'm just like everybody else for the most part, lacking in that area. But like I said, as long as there's, room for improvement, then you're doing something right, because you should never reach a plateau to where you think you got it all together, because I don't. I'm striving for greatness along with everybody else, and that's just something that I've got to work on personally for myself as well. So I'm sorry I don't have a book to reference to you, but yeah, that's just kind of where I am with that aspect of the business for myself.
Okay, no, that's fine. Those two helpful anyway, Jim Rohn and just June's call. So I really appreciate it, and congrats again. All the questions that were asked, those were very helpful for me anyway, that people asked. So those are what I had anyway. So
thank you, and you're welcome.
Well, hey, that is another call in the bag. This is the Sunday Night Leadership Call. First of all, thank you, Yuwanis, for taking your time to hop on this call here and kind of chop it up with us for a little bit and talk about your business. Of course, congratulations again to your promotion. Super proud of you. Super excited on what you got up next. So I can't wait. I cannot wait. I need to get down to Naptown to kick it with you guys here very soon. So I'll be looking out for me. Be looking out for me. I might just hop in the car with Mr. Robert Webster there and just pop up and say what's up to you guys down there. So appreciate you. So thank you. Congratulations again. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, if this is your first time on the call, this is our Sunday Night Leadership Call. We do this call every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern to make sure you can get as much knowledge, much info, and as much practical knowledge you need to be successful in your business. I know you guys have a great time out there. You guys are doing a wonderful thing. I'm super proud of the Millionaire Society. And listen up, ladies and gentlemen, we might make this a regular occurrence. So everybody who break a rank, let's go ahead and we're going to make this a regular deal. So I appreciate everybody having a great time this evening. Thank you, Yuwanis, for being on the line with me. And I look forward to seeing everybody crush it here in the future. Have a good night.
Thank you so much, James. Good night, everybody.